We are living in an era of remasters and remakes, as dozens of video games that we grew up with are coming back with better visuals, and sometimes gameplay improvements on modern-day platforms. The most notable recent example is, of course, the Resident Evil 4 remake, which breathed new life into a classic that so many of us know and love. Hopefully, the same will happen to RDR. Rockstar Games themselves are no stranger to remasters, as they recently tried their hand at it with the disastrous GTA The Trilogy The Definitive Edition, which visually altered GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Unfortunately, it was developed by an amateurish studio with little experience and used the Android and iOS ports of these games as a basis for the remaster, which was a recipe for failure from the very beginning. Interestingly, it was leaked in November that Rockstar Games was planning a remaster for Red Dead Redemption 1 and Grand Theft Auto 4, but changed their mind after seeing the poor reception of the GTA Definitive Edition release. Whether it was out of fear of lower public interest or because it was being developed by the same team, Grove Street Games, is unknown, but this came from a very good source nonetheless. The news of the remaster is further backed by the fact that Rockstar Games shut down a team of modders who were trying to improve the emulation of RDR1 on PC and remastering the game's visuals recently. Now, companies sending a copyright strike to modders is a really common thing, especially in the GTA world. You can just Google GTA mod taken down and see how many awesome mods Take-Two Interactive, the Rockstar Games parent company, took down in the past years. RDR Enhancement Project, RDR in GTA 5, VR mod for RDR 2, many classic GTA mods, they're all gone after receiving DMCA. Now it's obvious that the companies seem to take down mods that they feel competition from, such as multiple mods that remastered and connected the 3D-era cities of GTA, the Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas. Those mods existed for years, but the company only sent them a copyright strike after they were about to release the definitive edition themselves, which is a great shame, because the mods were far more exciting than a simple remaster of graphics. Back to the topic of RDR. When we look at the pattern of the company, it makes perfect sense that they ended up getting rid of the RDR1 remaster fan projects because they were about to release a remaster themselves soon. Furthermore, we have the fact that Red Dead Redemption 1 was removed from the PlayStation Now service very recently, which perfectly lines up with the window of the remaster being leaked. Rockstar Games is already very conservative when it comes to making their older games accessible on modern-day platforms, and then they got rid of the one option that still existed for gamers too. Fortunately, the cancellation of the remaster is not where the story ends. On June 15th, the Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea published a new rating for Red Dead Redemption 1. This rating, bearing the classification number CCNV230615001, is completely new and includes things like body damage as a reason for its mature rating, which wasn't as strong in RDR1 but was greatly expanded upon in RDR2. Furthermore, the NV in the classification number refers to console games, and for PC they have NP. Thus, this sort of confirms a possible console release, and a PC one may either be rated later or might not get released for a while, which is not surprising because of the fact that Rockstar Games has been delaying their games on PC for a decade now. What makes this very interesting is that this is not a rating for the old version of the game because RDR1 plus the Game of the Year edition and RDR Undead Nightmare DLC were already rated on the Korean board years ago, so there would be no need to do this a second time unless Rockstar Games was planning a new release of some kind. Another very crucial piece of information is that Rockstar has recently upscaled some of the achievements of Red Dead Redemption, which gives it better graphics compared to the low-res pictures that it had before. There is absolutely no reason to go back to a game that has been abandoned for years unless something new is brewing. So, it would make perfect sense for Rockstar to upscale these achievements for the upcoming remaster. Last but not least, Undead Nightmare seems to be getting remastered too because the new rating has a mention of zombies as well. And some of the multiplayer achievements were remade too, so we might be getting that mode back as well, which wasn't as big as RDO, but still had a lot of fun to offer for thousands of gamers. It's also pointed out by some journalists that Rockstar tends to announce games just a few weeks after the Korean rating board entries pop up, so all signs point to the remaster coming sooner rather than later. At this time, we don't know too much about what the remaster might have to offer. However, there are a few things that are clear from the recent rating. The mention of body damage is something that was missing for the original game. This might be be because of the fact that the gore system in RDR1 was not that well made, and it was mostly only evident in Undead Nightmare. Meanwhile, Red Dead Redemption 2's single-player mode has hyper-realistic gore, which features dismemberment of body parts among other things. This hints towards a possibility of the RDR1 remaster being done inside the Rage engine of RDR2, as adding realistic dismemberment to the original RDR1 wouldn't work out that well. Updated graphics is a no-brainer, as that is the very first point of a remaster. So it's time for us to finally see the beauty of RDR1 under a new light, and it will be fascinating to notice all the differences in the game's world for those who are coming fresh out of playing the prequel, RDR2. As much as I love Red Dead Redemption 1, its low frame rate on both the PS3 and Xbox 360 are a pain to live through today. So, the remaster will certainly lock the game at 60 FPS, and maybe even go beyond that, which, combined with the new graphics, will be such a gift to have. The remaster is undoubtedly going to be the Game of the Year edition, so all additional content, including Undead Nightmare, is going to be present. This is backed by the fact that the Korean rating included a mention of zombies, according to translators. We might see some gameplay improvements which were introduced in RDR2, especially in terms of how the controls work. RDR1 was a little stiff, so that definitely should be sorted out. Additionally, if it's inside the RDR2 engine altogether, then we might even see some new activities and mini-games that were introduced in the sequel. All in all, this remaster does not seem to be in development under the Grove Street Games studio, as they are no longer working on Rockstar Games, and are currently collaborating with the development of Ark Survival Evolved 2. And since Rockstar Games almost cancelled this remaster and is now bringing it back, you can safely assume that it will be developed with care. A remaster of Red Dead Redemption 1 right now makes perfect sense as a move by Rockstar Games. GTA 6 does not have a release date yet, and most industry insiders think that we won't have that game until at least 2024, and even then, it might come around Christmas or so in that year. GTA, the definitive edition, was meant to keep people busy in the meantime, but it turned out to be a disaster and is forgotten already. Rockstar Games has received a lot of criticism recently for their aggressive actions towards the modding community in the last 2 to 3 years. They're trying to go for a less toxic environment within their workplaces, and the satire found within their games was criticized too, such as the removal of transphobic jokes in GTA 5. It seems like GTA Online is at the end of its cycle too, as there are no major updates being released for now. Red Dead Online has been abandoned, and there won't be anything new coming for the fans, which leaves the RDR IP inactive, as people are reasonably tired of replaying RDR2 at this point. So, any major company needs a project to get people through the burner period of their next big game coming out. And at the moment, Rockstar fans have nothing besides GTA Online, which, in itself, is now being neglected a bit in favor of the development of Grand Theft Auto 6. Since Red Dead Redemption 1 has such high fan demand, especially since it never came to PC or the Xbox One or PS4, and many fans who enjoyed RDR2 never got to experience the next chapter in the story of John Marston, it's the perfect opportunity for Rockstar Games to bring RDR1 back to the modern era of gaming hardware and give fans something to enjoy, which will then make the wait for GTA 6 easier for us all in the long run. Otherwise, fans might begin crucifying Rockstar Games for their questionable actions that I just recently mentioned, and their profits might pause for a year too, since people have nothing new to buy from them, one way or another, whether it's a simple port, a remaster, or a remake. I'm excited to replay Red Dead Redemption 1 and to see all the fans who never got to play it finally experience this beautiful story too. And if it happens to be developed in the RDR2 engine, then that's even better, because the brutal world of RDR1 deserves to be remade with modern-day graphics, gameplay mechanics, and body damage. So guys, let me know in the comments, did you ever had a chance to play the first Red Dead Redemption? And before we wrap up, huge thanks to all my patrons for supporting my work. Your support helps me keep bringing you the latest news about Rockstar Games. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future updates. And remember to ring that notification bell to ensure you're always in the loop when new content drops. As always, thank you so much for staying till the end. Have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next one.